What ages do you serve?
We serve kindergarten through transition up to 22 years old in our program.
And those statistics that you cited were for the whole system, or
The whole system. They're school-wide.
And how big is the population?
We have one center site location. We have 4 off-site locations, a total of 11 classes, just under 80 kids right now.
Okay, thanks.
How has the faculty in general responded to this? Has there been any kind of barrier or obstacle, or?
Fortunately, I feel like I have the best staff in Waco. Of course, I'm prejudiced, but we have not had any obstacles at all that we've had. The staff has really embraced it, and we've also seen staff-to-staff character also improving in the process. Yes?
Did I understand you to say that you solely use character, the 6 pillars?
The 6 pillars and character counts is the basis of our PE program now. Yes.
Excellent.
Since I left in 2010 at Waco,
Yes.
well, how is it being, have you shared with the other PAUs? And PAU is a principal administrative unit. That's what that means.
Darlene used to be our superintendent, so I don't know.
Are the other PAUs, are you sharing? Are they kind of now
I have
taking it on?
actually presented our PE program at other PAUs. The challenge that we're running into, because we have San Gabriel Police Department who sends an officer out every week to participate with us. So does the local Army recruiting office. So we have the collaboration. The challenge is getting a police department in another area and a recruiting office in another area to be willing to do that as well. But I just talked to the commander of the Army last week, and he has promised his support in other areas. So we're at least moving in that direction with the Army.
Do you find that, I mean, I know that at this age, obviously there's a lot of enthusiasm and support, and the kids enjoy it and all. As the kids get older, 14, 15 and up, do you find it's more challenging to get the programs at that age group?
We found a little bit more challenging at the high school level. The middle school level, we actually saw students that were very quiet and timid start to take leadership roles as they created their pillars, and they really took ownership of it. So the high school is a little bit more slow to come around, but we are moving in that direction, yes.
How did you get started with this? What was the impetus? Did anybody get trained, or how did this begin to be?
Well, I've been trained through the 3-day training myself.
Did you come by on your own saying, I want to do this?
I've been listening to your radio spots for years, so I've always known about character counts and the importance of it. We originally started the PE program with our school psychologist teaching life skills. But once we got involved with the character counts, that became the basis this year for our PE program, and everything's based on that.
And just to add on to that, actually Laco just had a contracted training where they had people from 11 of their PAUs trained, and so I think
3 people from each PAU
trained, and I think that Royal was definitely an innovator, and he really picked this up a little earlier, and you know, but I think we're just kind of, now that they've just gone to training, we're kind of waiting to see where they go with it, and really excited to see some of the things that'll be coming.
One of the things we try to do wherever possible is replicate successful programs, especially that have to be adapted. I assume your people have adapted this in some particular ways to your population and the like. What kinds of adaptations have you made in order to make this work? And to what extent do you think either you or your teachers are willing to help kind of package those adaptations in a way that we can start making them available to other systems all over the country?
Well, one thing that's important when you're working with emotionally disturbed kids is you have to do really high interest things for the kids. One thing that we have really incorporated that they really like are the video clips, because they're relevant movies that the kids have already seen, but now they're starting to look at those things in a different light. And part of our PE program, we start with 15 minutes in the classroom where we will show a video clip, we will have a discussion about it, then we will go out to the PE field and reinforce that. So that's one of the things that we've really incorporated into our program that is easily adaptable to other programs. But that's one thing that's really worked.
When you talk about the program in academia, at least as I know it, and even in mental health, everything is categorized as some element of implementation, if you know what I mean. And so which track did it come down to be identified and funded and all that kind of stuff, so that you can say this package went into this and this package goes into that, if you were talking about a different type of institution?
As far as funding goes?
As far as, let me see the best way to describe it. Like if I were going to do something that is part of pedagogy, or if I was going to do something that's part of discipline, or if I was going to do something that's part of, then what category, when you talk about character counts implementation, what category was it most identified as, so that if I were to take it to another institution that we're dealing with kids who face some of the same emotional challenges, I could say, categorically speaking, this is where you can put this program.
Well, what we did is we actually built it into the PE, because within PE standards, there are life skills standards attached to the PE standards.
All right.
So we really looked at the standards. We wanted to make sure that it was curriculum based, and we wanted to make sure that it, follows California standards, and that we're not just teaching a program that doesn't have. We wanted to tie it into the curriculum to give it more impact. So it would be within the PE curriculum. There are life skills standards that you could fit it into.
Okay. Are there competing elements? I mean, were there other programs that could answer the PE calling to standards?
We didn't, because of budgets the way they are, we didn't look at existing programs. This is something that I sat down myself personally with the San Gabriel Police Department, and we created from scratch.
Okay.
We took a look at the needs of the school, we took a look at the standards and how we could fit it in, and the needs of the students, and we created this program and piloted it ourselves.
Yeah, so innovative. Last question, I think. Right now, really, we're trying to figure out in the mental health department, what do you do to integrate mental health strategies that work into the academic arena, because discipline is the major problem that is being discussed at that level.
Right.
Is there a collection of data that is somehow or another being positioned to argue that this approach is an effective approach when it comes to facing the challenge of mental health?
I don't know about the data and the research as a whole, but I do have hard data from my PAU and the benefits that we've seen as a result of it. Some of the data that I gave you earlier is just some of that data.
Okay.
The person at our school too, and one of the ways that we tie it into the mental health piece, the character portion of the PE program that is taught in the classroom is taught by our school psychologist in collaboration with Pacific Clinic's therapists. So we build that in so that there's a collaboration and that there's a support there too. So that's kind of how we tie that into those services.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I think you got those that are out there standing there. You're the ones that's where the real action is, and we need to talk to. Want them to really be excited about what we're doing, and not just listen to us about it. So I think they're great. They're all
I'd like to ask one or two more things for everybody's benefit. One, if I could, from the teachers, from your perspectives, would each of you just sort of describe what you see that's different, other than the statistics and the data, what kind of parent reactions you've had at all, and if you think it's working, why do you think it's working? In other words, what's working about it? So,
well, not only the PE program, but a lot of our language arts curriculum lends itself to like our storybooks and things. When we talk about our story and our characters, they can identify different elements of character counts within, and we'll talk about that, and then we'll personalize it. How do you use these in your life, and have them illustrate pictures or whatnot? And they're excited because they open up and they share. When you give things a name and identify them, they can articulate better and learn more. So, and that's what social studies, it's cross-curricular. Language arts, social studies, PE.
and has there been any parenting interaction or any parenting reports of what they see?
That's my next step. I mean, we did talk a little bit about what our posters were about. Some of the parents have seen them, and we talked about how we get to come here. And I'm going to try to make more of a home connection, but that's a
One thing that we do when reaching out to parents with this program too is when kids come into our program and yearly we have IEP meetings with the parents, we actually talk about the character counts as being an integral part of our program at the IEP meeting with the parents. So we're spreading the word to the parents that this is what we're doing, this is what's going to be the crux of our program, and this is how hopefully get their buy-in and their support at home as well. Yes, sir.
How linked, and this may be a question for you or someone else around the table, perhaps the previous superintendent, how linked is California, or is the state of California to the Common Core principles being established across the country?
I believe we're implementing the Common Core as of next school year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next school, I think it starts with, Darlene, and correct me if I'm
12,
wrong, it
13,
starts
I
with
think.
ELA and then math, correct?
Yes, ELA first and then
Yeah,
math.
so we'll be linking it with the Common Core
Yeah,
as
the
well.
board adopted it last year.
Okay. You know which consortium?